Hey, and we are back with another video today. Today is gonna be a bit of a shorter and quicker video. We have new handlebar grips. Since our previous group, they had gone out and one of the guys had ripped off the handlebars. Well, you can't really see it, but he had ripped off one of the handlebars. I don't know how exactly it happened since they are bolted in. And with that, since he didn't come back right away, they lost one of the little pieces. I will show you guys which piece exactly a bit later on. And the only way to get that back was to order a specific set from the handlebar grips. We'll get those installed. And since our GPS system has gotten here, now this isn't going to be the official install video. I will be making a full step-by-step tutorial on how to do it, but I am really curious and I can't wait to test it out. So we are going to show you exactly how quickly you could, in theory, get this into your jet ski if you had to. Because it's supposed to be very simple. Now obviously this is just going to be for a test scenario. I will do a proper install on both of these at a later time, or I guess in a later video. I will do it probably this coming week. It is Saturday currently. So let's quickly get the handlebars on, get the GPS installed, and head into the water to test out the GPS system. So to get the old ones off, I don't think they are just gonna come off, are they? Now I had just very quickly, temporarily, since I had to order the grips, these ones off of Amazon. These are the little pieces that I need. And since I had to order them off of Amazon, it took a little while for them to get here. And so I had tossed on a temporary grip. Now this seems to be a little stuck on there, but nothing a bit of air won't fix. Now as you guys can see right here, it has this little cut groove. Not sure how good you guys can see it, but that is where that little support goes. Now I'm debating on whether I want to switch both of them, because these grips, I do have the actual grip. It did not get lost, and I have the bolt as well. I just lost the washer, the end cap, and that little nut or the support that keeps it in place. So I might replace both of them, but at a later time. For now, all I need is that. Now we are gonna replace both of them since we already have it here. And we're already working on it. Why not? Let's get this opened up. No, that's not gonna work. Let's get a knife. Let's quickly get this opened up. Now the one thing I love about this kit is that the bolts come with a thread locker on it. Since I forgot to bring mine from the Chaco, we were out there a few days ago. I had planned to bring my thread locker along because I didn't want to order a new kit. But since I forgot, I now currently have to order it. But that's beside the point. That's not important to this video. There we go. All of that's gone. Now, I don't think these have left and right, do they? That's that. This is this. No, I don't think so. Okay, that means this little support right here goes into here. That is what's gonna hold your whole thing, your whole hand grip in place. It's quite a neat system. And there it goes again. Now that goes into place. This goes over top. Quite simple. And now if it doesn't go, just twist it around. I'm not going to be able to show you the inside of these since my camera isn't going to show you that properly. But there we go. That's in. Next we have the 10mm screw. That is going to thread right into that base. Hopefully. Let's see. There we go. With a socket, 10mm. Now, obviously don't over tighten it. There we go. End cap. This, quite important, it goes right here. It should also prevent the bolt from coming out as easily. And there we go, that's that one done. Over to the other side. All 4 pieces. Now to get that end cap out, I'm gonna use a little pick. Let's go. And as I said, to get the end cap out of this one, I am gonna use a little pick. Pull it out. There we go. And take this off. Now I have ordered a set for both jet skis for these grips, mostly because I am a little picky and this time I want to try to get everything the same color, same setup, same everything. It might take a little while, but if enough of you guys actually watch these videos, we might actually get there. As you guys saw, that little piece just fell out. Now, the great thing, now that I'm switching everything out from the old stuff, I now have repair laying around. I'm not saying it's great because these actually cost me, what was it, $40? No, that can't be right. I'm gonna check in a little bit. They were quite expensive. Calculated in our money, there we go. As you guys saw, I twisted it around until it actually had the little groove where I could keep turning it. I think in our currency, it cost me around 700,000 guaraníes. Yeah, that is close to, I think, $29 on the official website. And a little over on Amazon, but with Amazon I got free shipping. With the Seadoo I didn't, so in the end, since I have Amazon Prime anyways, I decided to go the Amazon route. There we go. Now both of the grips are done. We can put this away. There's the bolt. There's that piece. Now the one thing I'm noticing in this grip is that there is no washer. So that's not all too great, but there is now on both sides, there's a washer, new grips. I actually really like these. Now the one thing you might notice in the sunshine, you'll see that they have a blue color, which doesn't quite match the jet skis yet, as I mentioned, but I will try to get this one and that one matched with colors and everything. But as I said, that might take a little bit of time because out here in Paraguay, everything's super expensive. And it's also a little hard to get it here. So let's do a quick unboxing. It's the Jetski Buddy GPS system. It has a keeper part, auto zone, and timer feature. The auto zone, that's the geofencing system. The keeper part is a crash prevention and a rental timer, which is perfect for our use. Opening it up, you have 2 Velcro pieces, which are for your dashboard. Not sure if I'm gonna use those yet. You have the manual. You have the actual dash, which has the keeper part, and this is also where you scan your NFC tags. Next up, let's get this out of the way. So that's layer 1. Now here you have the whole system. This is what you plug into your jet ski, or I guess in between the jet ski. If I'm not mistaken, the plug is right here at the front here, and these are the keys which you need to control that. Now obviously in our next video we are gonna put this in a safe space somewhere in here. We're gonna mount the GPS antenna in a proper position, but since I am super curious on how this works, I'm gonna toss everything in the jet ski and just go for a ride and see how it does. Okay, so right here, as you guys can see, is the wiring harness. Now in theory, all you have to do is pull out that red pin, and I think you push this in, or is it lifted up? I think you push it in. There we go, and we should be able to just pull these apart. Now, this is a bit of a challenge. I figured that out last time already with this one. I'm not quite sure why this is so hard to get apart on the specific model. Oh, there we go. Now, as you guys can see, you have your Jetski Buddy system. It has the same plugs. Now, this one has 3 plugs in theory. This plug is a waterproof connector that goes over to your dashboard, which we are going to mount somewhere up top. And you have these 2 other connectors, these ones, which are just going to be... Am I missing the red safety pin from this one? Okay, let's get this one installed first then. Let's see, right there. The great thing about this system is you can't actually put it in the wrong way. Now, there we go. And that is in. Now let me just quickly check. No, there is no red safety switch on this one, so you should be okay. There we go. And let's get this attached quickly for the first test and see if the jet ski is gonna turn on. There we go. That's plugged in. Hopefully you guys can actually see what I am doing, kind of. I'm still in frame, yep. And with that done, we can, yeah, it turns on. You're gonna test this soon. Is there any blinking lights? Nope. No blinking lights. There we go. That is blinking. Timer feature is on. That's pretty cool. And as you guys heard, it cranks. That's basically the install. Now, obviously, if you're gonna do this correctly, you would mount the whole base or the whole system somewhere, either with zip ties or some kind of screws, mounting stuff. We will be doing that in the next video. Right now, I am way too curious how this works. I want to get out on the water, so let's go out there and check this out. So I did decide to actually strap it in a little bit for the whole system, just so it doesn't rattle around quite as much. And I also decided to pass the cables through right here on this grommet. As you guys can see, the GPS cable that is just hanging here currently. You probably shouldn't do that, but since you're just testing it out, I'm gonna give it that a shot. And this cable I routed here to the bottom. Now that is my dashboard. Obviously that is gonna be mounted differently later on. That cable goes from right here up, and as you guys can see, right there's the dashboard. I have all my keys in there. So let's get my Insta360 out, take this out into the lake, and let's have a look on how the whole system functions. And I will show you, well, I can't show you as the keep apart feature. We'll be doing a video with that guy right there and this one to show you guys exactly how that works. But for now, let's get the geofence set up and let's see exactly how much it limits it. Now, there's one thing I forgot to mention. There's a little bit of a little screw or a little knob, which you can select your speed on how much it limits it. My idea was to limit it all the way to as low as possible, just so nobody gets the idea that, oh, I'm just gonna cruise around outside the safety zone and stuff like that. Just to make it really, really boring if you do go out. And also to kind of limit ourselves here by the beach. But we're gonna test it with the original settings. Close this up. Right there. Yeah, I need both hands for this. I'm gonna get that closed, we'll head out to the lake and I'll see you guys there. So as you guys can see, we are out on the lake. I have the system installed. Now I have a little bit of slack, means enough room to turn it around. Life jacket is on. My keys are in here. And it turns on. Timer function is lit up green. Now I'm gonna try to keep the sun that way so you guys can see what's going on. Now the great thing with the system You get 2 sets of keys. Everything that's blue is for your time. You have 20 minutes, 45, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, and 3 hours. So everything from 20 minutes to 3 hours, that we are not going to use currently. Now the yellow rings. This is all the features you get with your system. You have the keep apart, you have 35 meters, 30 meters, 40 meters, keep apart off. You have the timer off, zone off. So basically you can turn all the features on and off. Plus you also set your geofencing with this. So I'm gonna quickly find the right keys. And then I am gonna start the whole process of geofencing once. Okay, finish zone mark. That means start zone mark. Now, I want to start it out a little bit further. Right about here, I think, is a good spot to start it. I'm gonna scan it. The lights are lighting up. And then we are just gonna go around. And I am not gonna bore you guys with the whole trip, but basically what I did, I made a giant loop around the whole lake of where they were allowed to go. So everything inside that loop is gonna be geofenced in, as you guys will see in a little bit, but let's get back to the video. And one of the cool features of the system, as soon as I take the zone finish marker, even though it's still way out there where I started, out on that side, as soon as I press it or scan it, all the lights light up, and it's just gonna draw a straight line to where, there we go. Now let's give this a quick try out of zone. As you guys can see, it lights up, and I am now pinning it. Oh, this is cool. So we're gonna turn back, and as soon as I enter the zone, did I not do it correctly? And it's still limited. Oh, my timer. Got it. Okay, we're quickly gonna do, okay, zone on and timer off. There we go. So now we should have. And we're gonna do a voiceover for this part. As you can imagine, the wind noise was absolutely terrible and my voice keeps cutting in and out because of that wind. So right here you can see the jet ski brakes on its own. As soon as I hit that out of zone line, it slows down. It is limited to about 10 kilometers per hour. If it's in sport mode, it will rev it up to 13 and then it will brake you. So it's a bit annoying. I would love to have the cruise control mode, or I guess the constant speed in sport mode as well. But if you're just in touring mode, as soon as you hit that out of bounds zone, you will be limited to about 10 kilometers per hour, which is actually pretty cool. So as you guys can see, as soon as I get into the zone, it gets its full power back. And since I am so close to the edge of the zone, as soon as I make a small turn, as you guys can see, the jet ski brakes again since I went out of zone. Now, the one thing I will mention, I did do another geofence on it, because I do a test in a couple of minutes. I think this is where I get ready for it. No, this is where we go over to the other side of the lake, right. So basically my idea is to have the geofence set up that even if you come full speed to the beach, it will slow you down enough, even if you don't intentionally brake, that you won't actually hit the beach at any high speeds. So here on our other side with our neighbors, which is Taquaro, obviously, as you will see, I have more than enough room. It brakes itself like I'm not even close. Now for my side, I was a little bit close. I couldn't go full throttle to the edge. So we went another pass with the geofence. I started out a little bit further into the middle. And as soon as I did that, I could pin it to the edge of the beach. And the jet ski would actually brake enough to not get beached at any high speeds. Obviously, you still wouldn't want to hit the beach at 10 kilometers per hour. But it gives you a bit more reaction time once you get to the close. Yeah, my hair doesn't want to cooperate with that wind. But as you guys can see, heading out into the middle, it's pretty slow. I'm still not quite sure if I'm going to slow it down a little bit more or if I'm just going to leave it at that 10 kilometers per hour. But now we head back to our side of the lake. Now, as I mentioned beforehand, this round I am going to slow down manually as well, because my geofence is set up a little bit too close to the beach. What I will do in a little bit, I am gonna do another pass with my geofencing. Right here, I still have it pinned. And in a few seconds, I am gonna, right there, I do slow down manually and we hit out of zone. Right here, it brakes. Obviously, as you guys can see on this side, it still had a lot of room, but it wasn't enough for me to feel comfortable that I could keep pinning it all the way to the beach. Our neighbor's boat was there as well, and I didn't want to absolutely crash into any of the docks or the beach itself. So right here, we're gonna get ready. We're gonna go for another test run. And as you guys can see, as soon as you're out of that zone, it just gets its full power back. You can do whatever you want with it. You have all the manual controls back. You have all the power you could possibly want on the Trixx. And let's head back to the beach. Now, as you guys can see, I go a little bit further to the side since I already knew on that side my geofence was even closer to the beach. But right here it was very sketchy, so I braked manually. So we're gonna set up a new geofence. And we are quickly gonna go for another lap around the lake, as you guys can see. But the cool thing with the system, if you have multiple jet skis, or I guess more than 3 or 4, and your geofence is really big, what you can do is you can get a geofence copier from them. Since I only have 2 devices and our geofence isn't that big, it's not worth it for me to spend that money on getting that geofence copier. I'm just gonna ride around twice and we should be good to go. Now with that new geofence set, we are gonna head back into the beach. Now, if you watch my fingers closely, you will see that I do actually keep it pinned. The first time I was kind of nervous and I've again braked manually. Now, I don't have it fully pinned here by the looks of it, but there we go. We pin it again as soon as we hit that zone. And you still have more than enough space there to react if something happens. I do a few other test runs where I actually pin it all the way to the beach and it slows it down just fine. So, first impressions of the Jetski Buddy System. Now, obviously, as you guys probably noticed already, we were out on the water and we tested out some of its features. I will be doing the full install video on doing this properly. Obviously, I have to take this apart, route this cable through here. Now, the great thing with this system, as already mentioned before, you have the quick release for the dashboard, which means every time I do maintenance on the Spark, or in this case our Trixx, but all Sparks, you need to remove the whole top body to get access to the engine bay. With that quick connect system for this dashboard, that is gonna make it a breeze. So as the same with all the other components, I can just unplug it, take the whole body off, and then I get access to the engine bay. With that being said, I will be taking this off as well to do the proper mounting of the whole head unit, or not, well, this is the dash, I guess. Yeah, the whole main board, to somehow put it in nice and firm, that it doesn't bounce around, that it doesn't, you know, hit anything while we go out riding. But it's so simple to install. If you ever get a new jet ski, you have the Jetski Buddy System on other jet skis, and you somehow forgot to install one, and you want to rent it out that same day, 5 minutes, you plug it in, you strap it onto something, and you're basically good to go. It is literally a plug and play system. As you guys saw, I plugged it in, I turned the jet ski on, went to the lake, scanned my first key, and we were off and running. Now, this may not be for everyone. It doesn't have a real-time location tracking, which is, I think, about the only downside I can see to this. And the other thing I'm not quite sure yet, the timer feature, whether that is the jet ski time or if it is the actual clock time. I went out, I tested it out for 20 minutes, and it felt like I was cut short 3 minutes, which I did stop the jet ski for 2 to 3 minutes. And according to the owner, he said it was the jet ski time that it took. But if I'm going off of my test, it does feel more like the actual time that it is. Now, obviously, I haven't actually tested it out a lot yet. I would love to. I am going to do a few more tests out with guests and stuff like that as well. And if it does use the actual clock time, if it does have an internal clock, that is going to make life so much easier for us, because that is how I prefer to rent out the jet skis. Now, if they want to go out into the lake, turn it off and just swim for half an hour, that's up to them, up to the guests to decide. But I want my timer to continue running. And if it does take the jet ski clock, I will see what I am going to do, how I'm going to get around that problem. But the timer is so easy to use. AutoZone feature is amazing. I came in full tilt to the beach a couple of times, and the way I currently have it set up, it now breaks the jet ski before it actually beaches it. So depending on how you set up your geofence, you can actually avoid any crashes to the dock, to the beach, stuff like that. Really great system. And same thing for the keep apart system. I'm guessing that's going to work very similarly. As soon as they get closer, they're just going to be limited, both jet skis at the same time. And that's going to save us from any crashes. And it's also going to avoid people playing or, I guess, jumping around close to each other with the jet skis, causing accidents with them. So if you like this video, subscribe for more content just like this. And also make sure to check out Jetski Buddy if you rent out your jet skis. Let me know in the comments if this is a system you would use, or if you prefer a different GPS system.